Welcome to the version of Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 on the Glenmalure farm. Alright, we got... Whoa, jeez. It's like I've never spoken before. We got a couple things going on today. Oh, goodness. I'm going to leave that in. We got a couple things going on today. First off, we got a harvest going down. This is currently a wheat right here. And is there a great demand on wheat? No. Thought there might have been, but I guess there's not. Canola, sugar beets, and pigs. Oh, sugar beets is coming up. Sweet. Excellent. So, let's get this guy fired up here. Excellent. So we got the sugar beet going, harvest going on. Not the sugar beets. The wheat harvest going on. Do we need hay? Ooh, good question. Let's take a quick peek over here. I left these two guys right here just chilling out right there. We got 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I can actually move these by pushing them. No, not really. 3, 6. Maybe we'll do hay over there. Sure, we're not. Hay. Straw. I apologize. Alright, let's disable the chopper. There we go. Yeah, so like I said, we got the harvest going on over here. Weird. I don't know why. I'm sure I've pointed this out multiple times already, but sometimes when you're in this particular combine, it will bounce up and down, but not always. Like right now, it does not do it. The seat bounces up and down is what I'm referring to, but right now it doesn't. Anyways, as you probably already have noticed, I do have a substantial amount of money. I got $78,000 just chilling out there. The reason I have that much money is because I sold the canola, I think it was, or the wheat. I can't remember. Let me just check. It was wheat, I guess. I sold the wheat that we had in last episode, so this episode I'm going to go ahead and probably sell the wheat too. So I sold the wheat, and I also sold the silage that I made. Now the funny thing about this is I'm pretty sure I didn't use the silage for what I actually originally made it for. What I originally made it for was for the mixing station. I'm pretty sure I didn't put much in the mixing station, so we want 5. Whoops! Whoa! Anyways, yeah. So I'm pretty sure it was for the mixing station. And we didn't put much in the mixing station, so unfortunately, I don't think we have much TMR, which is fine for now, I guess. So. It's fine for now. I had a couple good suggestions from the last episode. Let me just take a quick little peek here. What do we got? Greg says, with the New Holland, you could probably put the topper on the front and the harvester on the back. That's a great idea, Greg. That saves me doing multiple passes, so that would help reduce compaction, right? Shane asks if I got his links. I did, Shane. Thank you again. And Greg says I should use the rest of the wheat for the chickens. That's also a great idea, Greg. So once I do a headland on this, I'm going to go ahead and hire a worker and see how he does. I don't have auto tractor or anything installed again, so he's going to do his thing. Daniel also says my sound doesn't sound like a lawnmower today, so thank you, Daniel. He didn't say that specifically, but the last comment he said was, my sound sounds like there's a lawnmower, and it's because there's landscapers outside. Anyways, Austin, he says, hey, I like your videos. Go to 50 episodes, please. 50 episodes might be pushing a little bit. I think the only series I've gone that high in, or close to that, I guess, was the OGF Bayern farm. And I think the reason why I went so far on that one was because it was a pretty amazing map. I really enjoyed that map. It makes me want to look at some of the other OGF maps that are out there. There aren't too many, actually, though. There's OGF Bayern, there's OGF USA, and there's OGF Australia. And OGF Australia is just massive. So I may or may not look at that at some point. So I wonder if he's going to be able to take care of himself if I hire a worker. I got the feeling he probably won't be able to. Yeah, even when I had Auto Combine installed, with doing this particular field was kind of, I don't know, never worked out the way I wanted it to, unfortunately, so. Greg actually made another not a funny suggestion, but he made another suggestion. The suggestion was I should make a course going from the grass field, I believe, to the bunker. I think. I just saw it not too long ago, and I don't know if it was for Glenmalure or this map, Glenmalure or you know, the other map, Central Kansas. There we go. We don't need him. We can grab the Dezur trailer with this guy. Actually, it's funny. Speaking of a French name, Dezur, I believe, is a French name. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Let me just clarify that. Well, that was the worst thing to start off saying. Anyways, I was I was looking about. Let's say that I was looking about on YouTube, and I came across this guy. I've come across him before, actually. He's a guy who does farming simulator videos and some Euro Truck Simulator videos, and he does it in French. That's why Dezur made me think of that. Oh yes, I made some silage, as you can see, because I used the other silage up to sell. That's the reason why I made some more, if you're wondering. Let me just check to see. I think this actually needs silage, but yeah, it looks like it does. Yep, silage again. Okey-doke. Anyways, actually, you know what I will do? Let me just, I think it's M. It's M. And which one is it to? Not attached charge, change body type. There we go. Let's grab the wheat while we're at it here. Anyways, he suggested that I, no, not that guy specifically, well, I lost my train of thought there. That's what happens when you, apparently when you, put the back on this. Anyways, the French guy, yes, he does some funny videos with Farming Simulator, and the interesting thing is the fact that he does face cam for all his videos, and it's interesting because he has a steering wheel as well. So he does like a steering wheel with a face cam sort of idea, and he's obviously French, so if you don't speak French, it's not going to be very helpful for you, but it's kind of interesting to watch. I understand a little bit of French, and I know enough about the game to guess what he's talking about here, so just gonna get a quick sip of my tea. Ooh. It's my girlfriend made it for me the other day. It is because of my throat. That's what it boils down to. She's like, "Here, I'll make you something." I mean, whenever someone says, "Here, I'll make you some tea" or something like that, it's never a good thing. So she made this. It's lemon with cinnamon and hot water. That's it. But the other day when I had it, it actually worked quite well, so I made some for myself today. It's very lemony, which is good if you like lemons, but bad if you don't, I guess. So, anyways, yeah, the French guy, he does some interesting things, so I thought it was kind of cool what he was doing on his channel, so that's why I brought it up originally. But so he does face cam, and he does like not just a face cam. He shows like his whole steering wheel setup and all that jazz, and pretty interesting little setup he does there. He does a little bit more higher end production type stuff, which was interesting. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Just thought I'd mention that to you guys. I was trying to remember the name of I was trying to remember the name of something that you need to put on. Is it 5? Yes, of course it's 5. On wheat. Or I have to be careful with wheat. I think I was talking about this in TeamSpeak, but I'll mention it here. The thing I was referring to was called fusarium. Is one of the things that wheat actually has a problem with here in Ontario, at least. And I brought it up because I was talking with some guys about some fungicide, and one of the fungicides you have to be careful of, I believe, is fusarium. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not an expert in wheat by any means, but some interesting commentary about that. One of the other interesting things about that was I listened to this show called Cropline Updates, and it's with Peter Johnson. I've mentioned him before. He's an OMAF crop specialist, cereal specialist specifically. So he talks about little bit about soybeans. Not really, now that I think about it. It's basically, he talks about wheat, and he talks about, what do you call it? Hay. And he's a specialist in those, so he was talking about fusarium and wheat a little bit in the last show. But he was also talking about, in Ontario, what's happening is a lot of people who planted winter wheat, they're getting a pretty big, I believe he called it a winter burn-off, I think, something like that. So basically what's happening is the winter wheat you planted before the winter is not coming up as it's supposed to right now. Because the winter in Canada here was so long, I didn't think it was that long, but it was longer than normal, let's say that. And the spring's a little late here in Ontario. So what's happening is the wheat isn't coming up as strong as it normally would do. So he actually made a really interesting comment about it. Some guys, what they'll do is they will just say, they'll pack it in and say, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to plant. I'm not going to continue with wheat this season. And some other guys are saying no, double down, so to speak. And apparently, wheat is very responsive to stuff you put on it. So he was saying that you can actually, break even if your winter wheat's not doing well, basically. So apparently, what's happening, according to what he was saying, was some people just fold and say, okay, I'm just going to leave it, not do anything with it. And Peter Johnson was suggesting, no, stick with it and see where you can get what you can get with it. So, and like you said, you can break even with it. But the problem with winter wheat is it's not. It's hard to make it lucrative. If you can get enough yield off of it, it's doable. But here in Ontario, we don't have the weather isn't always great for it. So it makes it difficult to grow here, basically. Sorry, I was getting another sip of my lemonade, or hot lemonade, it tastes like. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting talk he had. No, it's a podcast, basically, like a radio show, whatever you want to call it. He keeps saying tape, and it makes me laugh. But yeah, he's talking about like what people can do if they have a little bit of burn off, I think is what he was calling it. And he was suggesting, I believe, in open spots, planting some other stuff. I think he talked about, what was it, barley or rye? I can't remember now, shoot. Yeah, but he's talking about doing some cool stuff like that. And he also is a big advocate for red clover as a cover crop. So it's pretty interesting. Well, for me at least. I don't know about you guys, but I found it interesting. It relates to my province specifically, so that's why I guess I found it interesting. So, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Actually, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. My father-in-law actually, every now and then, he'll plant wheat and see what happens, basically. And this year was one of the years where he basically said, no wheat for me this year, basically. So because of that, he actually planted all soybeans, which is, well, I guess it's hay as well, but planted soybeans primarily, which is, it makes sense if, like in his scenario, like he doesn't have a whole lot of acreage. He's got enough. But what's happening is, like, every time he plants wheat, he never gets, winter wheat specifically, he never gets a good yield, I guess is what it boils down to. So. Alright. Let me just get a sip here of my lovely tea. I'm not even sure if you'd call it tea or not. Oh, that lemon. Yeah, so anyways, like I said, I made a little bit of silage over here. Like so. I don't know why I did it like that. I'm just going to point something out. I really love... This is something I've noticed. I don't know who made this map. Oops. Where's my perch here? Oh, of course. The one time I want to get on it, I can't. There we go. I just want to say, I really love this texture for when you cover up the silage. I really think that's a really nice looking texture with the tires on it. Because that's what it looks like in real life, with the tires on it usually. So I think it's really cool. The guy who made the map, or the girl who made the map, did a really great job. Yeah. Anyways, random observation. Back to harvesting. Is that full? Ooh, almost. I bet you it is. Oh well, I guess we can... What's wheat at? Are there any good places for wheat? Let's just see. Ah, JF's pub. Oh, always JF's pub. Thank goodness I made a course play course on that, because that would have been ridiculous. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up that little Unimog there, which will probably be the last of this little harvest here. Like, the one thing I really like about this map, and, you know, small maps in general, is that you can actually finish a harvest in a episode, as opposed to starting a harvest and then finishing it in, like, 2 episodes, sort of idea. Because that's what happens in Central Kansas a lot. Like, I'll usually finish the harvest after, off-screen, just because if I were to show you the whole harvest, it would take quite a long time. So... yeah. Anyways, I had an interesting thought. I think I mentioned something like this, but before I talked about Duke's farming map, but not too many people seemed really that interested in that, so I just let it be. But I thought about kind of creating my own map, or taking a map and adjusting it for my own purposes. And the map I was considering adjusting was the newbie farm. And that's only the real reason I was considering that is because I like the growth times and how they've changed, how they're really different than at most other maps. And basically, I was thinking about making like more of a North American style map, and basically just take. I don't know how to change the crop related stuff, but it's considering changing the map up from my what do you call it? My desires, I guess. I don't know. For the way I would like it, basically. Oh, that lemon. Don't know why. Yeah, so I thought about doing that, and the reason why is because I really like what Cavalier Roy did in terms of making it difficult. But I would basically just take that standard stuff and adjust it, like I said, to my preferences, I guess. That was another thought. I thought about that the other day. I was like, oh, I kind of like the growth times and how they change, but I think about doing it on a larger scale. So that's what I was kind of I thought about that the other day, and I didn't. I was like, should I mention something about it? Should I not? I don't know, but I did, obviously, because I just mentioned it there. All right, not doing too bad here. You don't normally harvest the pipe out, but by golly, I'm going to do it. Alright, this will probably fill up the rest of this little Unimog here. I think this is the first time we've actually harvested something on this big field. I think it is, because I think we're actually getting more on this field than we did on the other one. Now that I think about it, let's just turn this guy off here. And hop into the Unimog. Oh yeah, totally using that little back part there. And I can totally get out of this field this way. Awesome, totally forgot about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a quick run up to the chickens and give them some wheat, as Greg suggested. Kind of on the way-ish anyways. Kind of? Yeah, that's on the way, right? I didn't want to bore you with harvesting the whole episode, so I figure I better go take a little jaunt over to the chickens and feed them. Oops, wrong side of the road. And I'm also carrying 200 eggs. You know what, let's just back up here a little bit. Sorry. No, it's there anyways, good. It's going to drop off the 200 eggs I'm carrying around with me. Apparently I can balance 200 eggs very well. Oh goodness. Put my beacon on, so I'm totally just chilling out in the middle of the road there. Sorry. Yeah, that was the thought I had with the newbie farm. Adjusting it. Nice. You know, it was an idea. Not sure yet. Of course, by adjusting, I mean like doing it in Giants Editor is what I'm referring to, if you didn't catch on to that. But that is what I was thinking about doing. And I think it could be, you know, pretty interesting. Well, I would enjoy doing it, but I'm not sure if anybody else would enjoy watching it. Because I think the problem I've discovered is while... this is going to be interesting. While it's kind of cool to see people adjust maps and what like that, it kind of gets... It can be that go? It can be tedious, I think. So that's why I'm slightly reluctant to just record me editing the map. Like, I think for now I'll stick to the format I've been using with like the mini tutorials, and I will make some more tutorials. Don't worry. I just haven't wanted to talk too much more past the regular talking because don't want to hurt my throat, because I kind of need that for work. And hate to say it, but work's kind of important. Kind of takes precedent over recording. Excuse me. It's gonna be a little tiny bit. Oh no. Not too bad. Yeah, like I was saying, it kind of takes a little bit more precedent over YouTube, unfortunately. I think it'll be a kind of an interesting time when it's the other way around, but I think that's a long way off still for me. I still enjoy just YouTubing, or whatever you want to call it, making videos. Anyways, it's really well, for me, I really enjoy the conversations that we have. Always find it interesting to see what people have to say about real life farming. I guess that's the most. I find those particular comments the most interesting, for me at least, because there's no cars there. Just because I don't live in a farm or anything, so I always find stuff related to real farming interesting, because I don't know. I know enough, I guess, but I'm not an expert by any means. I forget. Can I go up there towards that? I'll just go straight. It's not that far away. Yeah, and those are comments I really enjoy the most. So people who have, who actually live on farms or work on farms, and they give feedback about what happens in their province or state. I always find that kind of cool. Like the other day, when I posted the Hey Big Spender video on the Central, that was this morning actually, when I posted that video of the Hey Big Spender video of, on the Central Kansas farm. Here we go. I had a couple interesting comments about people saying, in the video I talked about the Case Steiger, whoops, the Case Steiger being the most powerful production tractor, and I know it's not the Case Steiger 600. I believe it's the Steiger 620 or something like that. So it was an interesting conversation, and some people were saying in Wisconsin, I think it's that WI, I believe that's Wisconsin. They were saying that it's a common sight to see the big old Case Steiger 600s and whatnot. I guess I could continue harvesting. I don't need to watch that guy do his thing. He'll let me know when he's done. 5. Perfect. Yeah, so I was like getting comments about that, and I always find it interesting to see. Some people are like, yeah, I have a Ford, or I have a John Deere, or whatever, so it's kind of interesting to see what people have to say about that kind of stuff. Actually, one YouTuber, I'm gonna call it, that I recently encountered is called I think what happened was I was just browsing through people who have commented, because with Google Plus you can actually look to see what other things people have commented on, if they've commented on your video, and you can just see what posts they've put on, because that's the way Google Plus or Google Comments works now. It's all related to Google Plus, so you can kind of see what people have other things people have commented on. And one person commented on what's his name? One Lonely Farmer, I believe his handle is, and it's pretty interesting what he does. And he fixes old tractors and makes them new again, so to speak. So it was kind of interesting to see that. I like some of his videos, maybe not all of them, but that's just my style. So I found it kind of interesting to see what he was doing. I forget who else watches those videos. I'm sure some of you guys do, so you'll know what I'm talking about. He was renovating a 4630 John Deere tractor, and what's the word I'm looking for here? Not renovating. I'm thinking renovating. Oh man, restoring. Here we go. I guess restoring is the best word I can think of. He was restoring a 4630, which was kind of cool actually to watch, to see. And when he was actually doing like the mechanical work behind it, and it wasn't like any of this farming simulator stuff. It was, you know, real life stuff. So I found that interesting. Is that it? Minus those little tiny pieces. We'll get this little piece over here. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see what he was doing on with his stuff, his farm, I guess. He doesn't really talk about his farm. Well, he does a little bit. He shows some farm work too, which is kind of cool. So one of his other videos, he was showing how to, or not how to, but he was showing spraying his field actually with a sprayer that he hooked up to one of his tractors. Kind of cool. Let's dump the Uniwalk first here. We got $79,000 now. I'm not sure if I'm going to go for the Joskin yet. No one really... Not too people really said, yeah, go for the Josk or anything like that. So I don't know how enthusiastic people are. But I think I'm going to try go for that. Just because it is... Oh, well... That's not what I expected. I totally expected him to go dump out the back, but I guess that works. There we go. I just want to take that off just because if I leave it on, I will most definitely run into problems getting something in that I don't need. So yeah, so he's a kind of interesting guy to follow, see what he does on his channel. So I don't know. I always browse around YouTube to see what other people I might find interesting. I found another guy, like I said in one of the previous videos, that he's recording on the same map as I'm doing my Let's Play on as well. And I'm curious to see what he was doing on his. And I found another guy, what's his name? Gunner Gamers, I think his name is. I found him and checked out some of his videos. He does the chore logs, he calls them. So it's like what he's done around the farm, and he just kind of plays on it, and he lets you know what he's done on the farm since last time he recorded a video. So kind of interesting. One of the things he was mentioning was about improving the quality of his farm, or his audio and video and all like that, the technical aspects of YouTube, I suppose. So it's pretty cool, actually. Pretty interesting stuff. All right, we got $86,000. So we made what, 10 grand on that? Not quite. Yeah, so that's how much money you can make if you muck around with silage, apparently. All right, we need some TMR. I'm just gonna leave this. Yeah, whatever. Leave. Nope, no, actually, I was gonna leave him running, but I figured I'm just gonna move him off the field, and I can start baling this, I suppose. Yeah, let's do that. It's funny. It's always you get to I always find that I get to a certain point where I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, I kind of got as far as I wanted to get on this farm. Like, I forget, someone was commenting that they hate it when someone gets like 2 fields and then stops, and I can understand that too. Even though they've done X number of episodes. We could buy field 2. No, it's too far away. Where's 6? Oh, down there. That's far away too. 7 is down here. Ooh. Let's take a quick peek at 7. This is 5. 5's a pretty big field. 4. That's the pasture there. And yeah, they were saying they didn't like it when people stopped after X number of episodes. So I was like, yeah, I can relate. Not necessarily a certain number of episodes, but more like you don't progress that far into the farm. And no, that's to each their own, right? So some people like seeing the progress from a little small farm to a great big farm. So this is 7. That's a little small, actually. 14's a little on the pricey side. 15 is back there. What about 11? 11. We don't need this yet. Let's go take a quick little walk over to 11 here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy another field right now, and then we'll see. I think this is 11 over here. I'm just going to go jump the fence and see if we can do it. I think we can. I'm not sure, actually. I haven't tried to jump the fence yet. Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. And that's 14 way down there. Yeah, that's a little... Oh, that's huge, actually. On this map, that's enormous. Holy cow. How much is that? $279,000. Or 78. 79. That's a little pricey, actually. 11 wasn't too badly priced. And 12 is... where is 12 here? Yeah, so like I said, that guy was mentioning that. And I can agree to a certain extent. Like, I try to make a certain amount of progress on my Let's Plays, and then I'm like, I'm good. And I'm kind of getting to the point on this map where I'm kind of like, I'm good, but I do enjoy this map, so I don't want to stop completely. No, I don't want to buy this field. It's too small. This field is not too bad, actually. And 9. What's 9 look like? So yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about. So I'll buy one more field, maybe. We'll see. I kind of want to buy this one, but $279,000 is a lot of money. That's a lot of field, though, too. On a small map with a big field, could be interesting. Could be interesting. And this is 9. Well, it's not too bad, actually. Just pop over from this field over here, too. How much is this? 31. Let's see here. Let's buy this field, sure. Actually, I'll do it here, just because, there we go. Field 9. Finally bought field 9. So there we go. Still got 50 grand left. I don't know if we need to upgrade anything. Let's take a quick little peek before I end the episode here. Ooh, I can get the Fent. That's, by the way, that's the Fent that bounces all over the place. If anybody remembers that from the Serbian farm. I could replace... Oh, maybe I'll do that, actually. Maybe I'll replace this with... I don't really need to, though. That's this is the funny thing I always get into. I'm like, well, I could do this, but I'm like, do I really need to? And this is what I was talking about before, the feeding, or thinking about the feeding technology things just to feed the animals with. Do you really need it? Not really. Is it helpful? Yeah, not, well, yes and no. Yes and no. How much is this one? This is actually 18. Oh, I'm going to run into a problem with this. This is going to be too big. That's 25. That holds 10, 14. This is 18. It's a small farm. We don't need anything crazy big. Let me know what you guys think. Should we get this or should we not? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, I am going to end the episode there before I keep babbling on. And not muttering, but babbling. Babbling is a good word for it. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. My name is Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013. And my Unimog's stuck, apparently. Oh, it's right there. And this is Farming Simulator 2013. We're playing on the Glenmalure farm. I'll catch you guys later.